Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Nadia Fana bint Rahman and my ID number is IDI 1507019 and I'm from the EC5D class. So today I would like to comment an issue called sex education in primary school, which it relates with chapter 4, Socialization. First of all, this issue is not quite popular and the Malaysians, especially Malay, are not encouraged that much in doing sex education in school, as they're afraid the kids might be too advanced regarding the sex things. However, the sex education does have its pros instead of cons. The pros would be the kids be able to defend themselves. For instance, they could know like the pedophiles movement perhaps, meaning that they can implement cautious steps towards pedophile in ahead of time. Besides that, they also can know if, let's say, like their relatives are trying to make a sexual move towards them, and by that they may realize instantly and do the right action. Especially if we are female, we as human beings should implement some face work, as is the efforts that people make to maintain their proper image and to avoid public embarrassment. And not just that, the genders have their own roles, so they must play their own roles very well, because that will portray who they truly are. And it also can be said that gender role is an important element in society, as is an expectations regarding the proper behavior, attitude and activities for males and females. Plus, they as well can prevent themselves from young birth or birth control or even teenage parent, meaning that the girls got pregnant at a very young age, and by that they will be a very young mother and the male will be a very young father, and that portray the teenage parent. And then move on from that, by that they will acknowledge the cons in doing sex before marriage. Other than that, they be able to prevent from sexual abuse and AIDS as well. Moreover, we all know that sex education includes bad things. For example, tell us about bad things. For example, like rapping, males rap females, and that can relate with social deviance. It means that it is the behavior that violates the norms in a society. Besides that, learning sex education is four ways. If you're not learning about sex education, it doesn't mean that we will be given a harsh and strict punishment. So by that is a four ways, meaning that is an informal norm. So if we do not learn it, it's okay, it's fine. There will be no harsh or strict punishment. But however, it's kind of like necessary for the kids, because it gives the pros and it delivers much pros instead of the cons, as we all acknowledge much about that. But however, the pros also giving lots to the kids about the sex education. All in all, the sex education does deliver the pros, which make sense and that are acceptable in society. And other than that, the sex education can say that it is the relationship between deviance and social control, meaning that as I said before, that the social deviance is against the norms in society. But the social control, perhaps, I can say maybe that we can control the doing that things in society, as we have learned the sex education. And when learning sex education, we have the privileges, because we have the advanced knowledge compared to others at a very young age, and by that we can take cautious steps, and we can be careful towards the issue, and perhaps avoid ourselves in involving rapping and doing sex before marriage. Last but not least, in everyone's life there must be a significant other, meaning that, let's say, is an individual who is very important in our development self. For example, like teacher, parents, and friends. Meaning that in school we have teachers to teach us, and at home we have parents. We as the human being have our own pride and dignity, so we must take care of it very well. Because if we not take care of it very well, we can aggravate our image. And plus, we learn this sex education not to nurturing impression management where we have to satisfy particular audience. No, this is for ourselves, and we have to take care of ourselves. Not others have to take care of ourselves. And last but not least, I think the sex education also helps us in implement the looking glass self, meaning that it is the concept that produced by Charles Horton Cooley, and it is a concept that emphasizes the self as the product of our own social interaction, meaning that by learning sex education we can look at ourselves, like how we interact with others, especially between males and females, how the limitations between them we should know, and also as between females and females well, and also male and female. So yeah, I think that's all I can comment about the sex education. So thank you.